stand a day later after an interruption for another witness. And then when he was supposed to come back, he didn't. And many people expect that's because he was caught perjuring himself. So that's what we think is going on. Alicia, I also want to clarify, though, that while these negotiations are reportedly underway, according to the New York Times and others, we don't have reason to believe that they have been conclusively finalized. That is, there is no plea agreement yet. Rather, our best understanding, based on others' reporting, is that there are only discussions.
Andrew, help me understand how this plays out, what you make of this. Would a plea take an important chess piece off the board for Trump's defense in the Bragg case?
Yeah, there's no question that this would be a very bad development for Donald Trump in two ways. Directly and, as you sort of intimated, in a third way, sort of indirectly. So the direct ways is, as Lisa said, this is a very bad development in terms of the civil fraud case that is pending, where we're awaiting a decision by Judge Engoron. I strongly suspect that the reason for the delay in that decision coming out is because Judge Engoron is waiting to see what happens with respect to Weisselberg, who was, after all, a witness in his trial in civil court. So we're waiting to see what happens there. So that is sort of makes it very hard for Donald Trump to use that testimony as something to exculpate him and to say, I didn't commit this civil fraud, if Alan Weisselberg is going to say that, in fact, he lied just several weeks ago before the judge. Second, in the Manhattan criminal case, to the extent that Alan Weisselberg was a potential witness for Donald Trump to refute any part of the case, he still might be called by Donald Trump, but his credibility will have taken this enormous hit, because he will have to say, not only did I plead guilty to this very lengthy tax fraud where the Trump organization, as Lisa mentioned, was convicted, but he himself pled guilty to that. And then even after that, he committed a crime by taking a stand and lying under oath. So his credibility is shot. And then the third way, which I'm really very familiar with, is it's very important for prosecutors, when they can show that somebody is lying, has either lied in an interview or lied under oath, to bring those cases, to vindicate the system. Why? Because that's sort of the bread and butter of how cases are made. And it really sends a deterrent message to other witnesses that if you hop on the stand and lie, there are consequences. So there is this sort of intangible way that I think in many ways may be the most important, that it really prevents people from taking a stand and just willy-nilly thinking they can get away with saying anything that the defendant wants to hear.
Lisa, you did such a good job setting the table for us, the ways in which